Hello and welcome, it's Chris from Christopher Holt Training, and welcome to this week's tutorial where we're going to be looking at one technique that can help build core strength and spine stability. That technique is bracing. Now it's not hollowing, so we're not sucking in our navel towards our spine. It's bracing and stiffening the torso so it's able to bear load and stabilize the spine. So how we do it, number one, is we want to take our fingers and we want to be able to sort of, first of all, just sort of prod into our abdominals here. So it should be a bit floppy. And then what we do to be able to brace is we then tension the torso and the abdominal muscles so our fingers get pushed back out. So we tension and it pushes the fingers out. So it should now be, if I touch it or prod it, it should be solid. So I now can't push my fingers into it. I relax, I can push my fingers in, but then what I do is I tension it and I push my fingers out. So that's number one. The second thing that we need to be able to do is brace appropriately. So if we're lifting a big heavy weight, we can then do a heavy brace and then we can lift that object, whatever it might be. It could be shopping bags. So we then lift and come up. So again, we're bracing the torso. So we go down into position, we brace the torso, we grab a hold of what we're lifting, and then we lift back up. Now, if it's only a light object, so we might be picking a pen up off the floor, all we would need to do is just brace lightly to, again, stabilize the spine and keep the torso stiff. And then we come down, we pick the pen up, and then we have the pen in our hand. But what we've done there, if we've protected the spine, and what we've been learning to do is stiffen that core. So what we're doing at this point is we're using exercise to be able to hold and create that stiffness. So we're using exercise to create the brace. So we use exercises like planks and side planks and their progression. So we might lift an arm or lift a leg. We might use kettlebells that are behind me to be able to do this. And the final thing we need to be able to do when we brace is breathe. A lot of people, when they pull their tummy in, they also forget to breathe. But what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to brace the torso, but then also breathe as well. So if I was again to push in here, so it's loose, I then go tight, and that's known as breathing behind the shield. So I've tensioned my torso, and then I'm breathing with that tension and that stiffness. And if we're able to do that, we're going to be able to create a much stronger core, a much stiffer tension throughout the core, but also it's going to stabilize the spine. So when we are lifting objects from the floor, that could be exercise or everyday life. When we're doing core training, which could be planks, side planks, kettlebells, as I mentioned, resistance band exercises, what we're going to be able to do is that's going to encourage more muscles to work more of the time. If we're creating more muscles more of the time, that then is going to have sort of a knock-on effect in making our arms and legs stronger as well. And then we can then transfer that into everyday life, and that's only going to take it to the next level. So if you want to be able to build greater core strength and stability, you need to learn the skill of bracing. So when you do exercises, you learn how to brace, which is number one, push your fingers into your tummy and then tension your torso so they get pushed out, so it feels solid. Number two is to brace appropriately. So if it's a big, heavy exercise, you brace heavy. If it's a light exercise, you brace light. So you're not only building core strength, you're also stabilizing the spine as well. And then finally, you need to breathe behind that shield of tension, which is the final one. So don't forget to breathe. And then that's going to take it to another level again, because it's only going to further build any endurance that you want to have within your torso. So hopefully that's been helpful to you. Hopefully it's given you a better idea of one of the things that you need to be doing whilst you're doing core exercises. So many thanks for watching. My name is Chris from Christopher Holt Training. I'll speak to you in the next tutorial.